Oftentimes in math, we like to take geometric shapes and apply them to a grid system, or what we call the Cartesian plane. So we like to take in this case, a circle, and we want to relate it to how we might graph it. The general equation for a circle looks like this. X minus, and I'm going to just write this as a subscript, but that represents the shift to the center. Okay? And I'm going to do the same for y, because, of course, we need a y coordinate too, and that's equal to the radius squared. So let's do an example. I think that'll make more sense. If we had x minus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 4. Well, this represents how we were shifted. Of course, x is, this axis, so the x minus 2 represents how we were shifted left or right to get to the center of our circle. The y represents how we were shifted up or down, because that's the y-axis. So in this case, we were shifted right 2 units, and I know it's x minus 2, but this really has to do with always thinking about what would make that factor, that thing in parentheses, 0, and that's positive 2. And we were shifted up 1 unit. And again, it feels like it's always the opposite, because it has to do with what would make that particular parentheses 0. So if we go over 2 units and up 1, we're right there. This represents the center of my circle. So always think about, just a quick reminder here, it's the opposite. I know that kind of feels weird, but that's how we find it. And then the radius squared is equal to 4. Well, if you take the square root of 4, you get 2. That's our radius. So I always think, okay, if I just counted 2 units out from my center in each direction like that, it looks something like this. Pardon my bad drawing of a circle, but there it is. Okay, let's do another example. All right, so in this example, we've got x plus 3. Now remember, it's like, what would make that 0? So this is actually going to move back to negative 3. And y plus 1, this is going to move down 1 unit to negative 1. So our center is negative 3, negative 1, right there. Sometimes you're just asked for the center. You can just say, well, the center is negative 3, negative 1. And remember, the radius squared is equal to 9. So the square root of 9, the radius is 3. So just count 3 units in each direction. And something like that. Let's say we were given the circle and asked for the equation. Well, I would start by just writing down that the center here appears to be where x is 1 and y is 3, and the radius appears to just be 1. So we would have x minus 1. So remember, we want our center, our x number, to be the solution to that 0 in parentheses. So it's just always the opposite, x minus 1 squared. And then we have y minus 3 squared. And that's equal to 1 squared, which, of course, we don't really need the squared, because 1 squared is simply 1. So this is, in general, how we can apply our circles to the Cartesian plane. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe for more geometry help.